It's time. Welcome to Training Intervention Program for Behavior Change. I am your psychologist and behavior specialist Geraldine Garwood. Today I'm going to be talking to you about infancy development. Please remember to subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell so that you can know when a video is uploaded. When you subscribe, we actually build community. And so this video is a follow-up video to my video on attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, where I talk about a diagnosis of ADHD and how it is important to be able to differentiate when a child actually have ADHD as against when they're operating within their normal developmental milestone. So I'll be doing a series of videos on developmental milestone, infancy, early childhood, middle to late childhood, and adolescence, so that parents and educators will be able to understand when a child is actually operating within their developmental milestone because there are some things that they ought to be doing within their developmental milestone. And when they are displaying those kind of behavior, it is often misinterpreted as them having ADHD. And so today we are going to be starting off with infancy. But each developmental milestone is very wide. And so I am going to be narrowing down each milestone and make it as simple as possible so that we can understand what are the expected behaviors for each developmental milestone. So we are going to be looking at infancy today. I will starting off with physical development. So in the span of 2 years, infant learn to do different tasks. And these tasks include sitting, standing, stooping, climbing, walking, running. And critical to this is the brain. The brain plays an important role in the sequence of development that actually takes place. So all of these activities that the infant engage in, the brain is playing a crucial role as it relates to the activity. So when they sit, the brain is activated. When they stand, the brain is activated. When they are stooping, the brain is activated, and so on. So all the varying behaviors that are displayed by the infant, all the different activities and responses that the infant produce, the brain is playing a critical role in all of this. And so we move on to height and weight. Now, for the infant, growth in the first year is rapid. They grow really, really fast. And so oftentimes parents are always advised, when you're going to have a newborn, don't get yourself too many clothing items because they grow so fast. So the average full-term newborn weighs between 5.5 pounds to 10 pounds. So if you have a newborn and that newborn is under 5 pounds, then that newborn is underweight and may require extra medical care from the medical team that was present at birth. And also, if the newborn is weighed over 10 pounds, that can mean that there may be some abnormalities, again, going on with the infant. And so the medical team will advise the parent as to what may be happening. So by age 1, babies weighs approximately 20 to 22 pounds and measures approximately 30 inches. However, the growth rate is less rapid in the second year. So by age 2, infants weighs approximately 26 to 32 pounds and measures 32 to 35 inches tall. So, parents, if you have your infant and you're seeing them not growing much in the second year, don't be alarmed because at that time the growth rate slows down. So note that. Don't be too alarmed and concerned. The growth rate has slowed down. All right. Now we move on to teething. Now the child begins teething around 3 to 4 months. However, the first tooth may arrive sometime between 5 and 9 months of age or later. And we know our babies look very cute with that first tooth when it appears. By age 1, baby generally have 6 to 8 teeth, and by age 2.5, they have about 20 teeth. And so I want us to understand that the process of teething comes with a level of discomfort. So when the infant is teething, they may be fussy, they may cry a lot, they may be very moody, a little irritable, they may be clingy, cling to the mother or the main caregiver. They may also have a fever. And when that occurs, it is best to take them to see a pediatrician so that they can identify if the fever is correlated to the teething process. But throughout the teething process, infants need a lot of comfort, nurture, and support, love, care, affirmation, and time as they go through the teething process. Note that not all infants have the same experience when it comes to teething as it relates to symptoms, right? Some may only be fussy, some may not be fussy at all, some may not have a fever, right? But these are some of the things that you look out for as a parent when the infant is teething. And then we move on, fourthly and lastly, for this video to brain development. I will be spending a little bit more time in part 2 on infant development, on the brain development process, because that is critical to development overall throughout lifespan. And so changes in the brain play an important role in the physical development of the infant. And that begins from within the uterus. So the changes in the brain starts from the uterus and continues to develop following birth throughout infancy. And so that is why it is important that from within the uterus, the parents begin to bond with their child, build that relationship with the child. So read to the child, sing to the child, talk to the child from within the uterus so that the child can become attached to that familiar voice. Very, very important. Another key thing to brain development is protecting the infants from falling or any kind of injuries. Protecting the infant's head. It needs to be protected from falls or injuries. So it is critical that we try to not allow the infant to fall and hit the head. A number of infants having hitting the head develop traumatic brain injury, and we don't know of it until later on in their development. When they reach early childhood, they may have some impairment when they reach middle to late childhood, right? And so it is important that we protect the child as possible. So we should probably have them in a playpen, and if we have them on the bed, we cushion them around with pillows, with cushions, with folded blankets, so that they are not able to roll off the bed. Because critical to their development is the process of the brain. And when that is impaired, they are going to experience challenges as they develop. And so it's very important, as I say, for us to understand developmental milestone as we work with children. As parents and caregivers and educators, it's very, very important that we have an idea of what is involved in the developmental milestone of our children. So please stay tuned for the follow-up video on infancy and the subsequent videos that will come on child development so that we can work effectively with our children, so that we do not misdiagnose our children, so that we understand that children ought to be children by operating within the realm of their developmental milestone. That's it for tips for behavior change for today.